How's it, ladies and gents? Today you join me on this beautiful Sunday for a POV drive of my Polo GTI. I'm not going to talk too much about the car today, as that was covered in my previous video, so if you haven't checked that, check that out. Let's get going. So if you haven't watched my previous video, that was the full review on this car. We spoke about everything, the specs, the things I like, the things I don't like, performance, all the mods I've done to the car. The sun's bright. But today we're just going to be going on a nice little drive on this Sunday. I'm not going to do too much talking. I more want you guys to see what it's like to kind of drive this car. Hear the exhaust, you might hear some of the intake, and you can hear these pedals. So yeah, let's get into it. It's a nice little S3. Beautiful color. I don't know if you guys can hear the downshifts on this car. It doesn't come from factory with burbles, but it does do this, I want to say, kind of almost burble thing on the downshift. It's like you click downshift and it goes blah, 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 blah. It's not full on downshifts, but I really enjoy the sounds that it does make. These roads aren't the nicest, so I'm probably just going to cut until we on some nicer roads to really drive the car. To come back to the fuel consumption, if you did watch the video, I did say you can get anywhere between 5 liters per 100 on this car, all the way to 18 liters in the video I showed you. Today I was at Zanzi Speedway, which is maybe call it 30 kilometers away, and on the highway with some spirited driving, my average is 9.6. I think that is for today, which I mean is not a bad average for EA888. Even the Q340 TFSI, which you would expect to be more of a fuel efficient vehicle, I mean I think that thing's average is around 10-11, which is quite high, so it's really impressive for this EA888 to get the type of mileage that it does. Give you guys some downshifts. Don't know if you can hear that little brrr. There's a 128 behind me. I hope it's not a cop, but I guess we'll see. I hope you guys can hear the intake. In higher gears, when you're giving it some gas, in the low revs, you can really hear the intake sucking in all that air and the little blow-offs. Definitely one of the best mods you can do to a car, even if it's just for looks or for the sound and you're not really going for the performance. Because just like me, I haven't tuned this car, even though I do have a full free flow exhaust and an intake and whatnot. I haven't tuned the car. I know there is a lot of power to be gained even with just a stage 1. Really nice Supra over there. Wow. I really like the wings that they do on those cars, the homage wings, the ones that come up and above. What was I talking about? Oh, power. So there is a lot more power to be made with the stage 1 or stage 2 on these cars, and a hell of a lot of power if you're planning to do a hybrid turbo or a Golf R turbo like the IS38. But you don't need that. You can do an intake just if you like the sound. You can do a downpipe just for as a lot of people do. As I have spoken about, go to road performance if that's what you want to get done. Full exhausts, anything. Even my intake was fitted at road performance. They can do anything that you guys want them to. But sadly, these roads are quite packed for a Sunday, which I really wish they weren't. I'll just go overtake this guy. You can drive this car like your normal everyday car, but if you need the power, it's always right there. Currently I am in individual mode, with my settings being steering on sport, sport selection suspension, or sport select suspension is on sport as well. That's the adaptive dampers as we've spoken about. Drive is on normal, engine sound on eco, as I don't like the fake noise being pushed into the cabin. And I don't know what the hell the air conditioning is going to change, but that is set to normal as well. I mean, if we chuck this car in eco, it drives just like your everyday car. It's not very responsive on the throttle. It's a lot more chilled, if you can tell right now. Oh, there's that Supra. It's a lot more chilled now, and you can just chill just like this. When you let off, it disengages the clutch, so you are saving quite a bit of fuel that way. Not enough for me to really care, as I don't really drive in eco. I want the power there when I do need it, but I'll show you now. So in eco, foot flat takes a second. Like, it's just a lot more sluggish in eco. We can go into auto. This also, same as eco, keeps the dampeners very soft. I mean, you can feel the body roll in the car right now, but it's just a very comfortable ride when you do put it in auto or eco. And then obviously if we chuck it in sport, immediately puts it in sport, downshift, and it's a lot more responsive, which I think you would want if you are in sport. We're just gonna go this way. The downshifts in sport do sound extremely good. There we go. Just gonna go in front of this biker. Hope he doesn't mind too much. I don't really like driving in sport. I'd rather have it in the sport settings and drive in manual, as sometimes the shifts are a bit weird. It shifts in at very odd times, I'd say. I'd much rather just have control over that myself. We have the DA setting up over here. And we can also, pressing once on the traction control button will turn traction off. If we put it back in and we hold, there it goes. It puts it into ESC Sport, so it will allow a little bit of slip, but not too much to where you're just spinning your wheels. You know what, maybe we'll do a little launch here. See how much space we have. If anyone asks, this is a closed circuit, you know, private road in Mexico. Oh, and auto stop start. Don't know why that felt extremely sluggish, but as you can see, when you do have ESC on sport, it limits your slip. That's why it does sound quite weird when you're launching this way. It doesn't want the wheels to slip, just to keep a little bit of traction there. That is going to give you the best results if you are doing 0 to 100 times. With traction completely off, the car does just spin until second, and even a little bit more through second, which, I mean, it's fun sometimes, but you can't be having that every day. And that's why in the video I was talking about, you can't really add too much more power to this car as is, with 147 kilowatts and 320 newton meters of torque. It doesn't grip that much as is. Even pulling from, you know, somewhat low in second, going like, let's just do it here, from like 40. The traction control does kick in, but, you know, if you do want to go more power, you're gonna have to get better tires, or, you know, do some other stuff. But yeah. Sound absolutely mental on this car with this exhaust. I'm sure you guys can hear it. I do have a microphone in the booth. It isn't on the back bumper because my exhaust is actually too loud for these microphones. They are the DJI mic minis, I think, but they do start clipping when they are anywhere near my exhaust on the back. So, you know, to make this a bit more pleasurable for you guys, I did put it inside. I hope you can still hear the exhaust, but I think I'm talking too much. Let's just enjoy driving the car. tunnel, so I'll let you guys hear this. Very loud DSG farts. Do want to slow down here. There might be cops ahead. Doesn't look like it today. I'm sorry if there is a little bit of rattling when we're on these. Okay then. Sorry if there is a bit of rattling on these roads, on the not so nice roads. As I did speak about again in our previous video, there is a lot of rattles in this car. I do apologize for that if the mic is picking them up. Traction off, so I feel like it doesn't act as weird as when ESC Sport is on. So watch out for these potholes over here. Like this, you can really feel how much more stiff this car gets when you do put it in sport or individual. It really stiffens up a lot more than you'd actually think with these with the DCC that the car does have. Driver here. Just gonna put it back in individual for my settings. And one thing I don't think I showed you guys on the review is you do have these selection screens here that you can display. You can change your digital cockpit to do whatever you want. You can also put on your driving data as well as vehicle status. Just says traction's off. And then you do have the sports screen you can change. There's G's, there's your boost bar, I think that's coolant, your kilowatts, you know, all of that, oil temp. Really cool. Makes me feel like I'm driving a GTR. One of the first fast cars I ever went in was a GTR, and they did have that big screen in the middle with all the gauges and whatnot. It really made it feel like a supercar. I mean, it is, but yeah. And just because I know a lot of the guys that are watching this video would like to know how fast this car is, I am going to include the 0 to 100 launch at the end of the video. I think it will really surprise you, the 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 time of this car. It's a lot lower than what VW claims, and that is with pretty dead tires and a very heavy passenger in the car. one my microphone. Oh, hello. My microphone is connected to, so you guys are not going to get that side anymore. I do have a DJI Osmo. What am I saying? A DJI Pocket 3 up here that is getting the other POV. Another little GTI. Don't think the GTI lady was too happy with me there. Launch control, try to activate there. And as promised, here's the timed launch video. So guys, this is the end of this first POV drive in my car. I did a lot more talking than I thought I would in this video. So if you guys do want a daytime or nighttime no talking POV drive with the microphone in the back and just purely this car sounds, let me know. If you want any other cars, specific cars that you guys want to see here on this channel, please let me know. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.